everyone, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am creating a new playlist that is dedicated to Odoo 19 inventory valuations. Odoo 19 brings a major change compared to previous version, and today I got a chance to explore them in detail. While learning, I am recording this video so we can understand all the concepts clearly together. This playlist will cover all the basics, initial use cases, concepts, and then we will move towards the more complex and more advanced use cases. So be tuned on this playlist. But today's our main topic is what are the major changes, and our focus will be on the perpetual inventory valuations. Okay, so let's move into our database and let's check what the major changes. Okay, so now here we have two major changes. First one, there will be no any concept of the continental and Anglo-Saxon accounting, and second, now move onwards, there will be no any account for stock interim receipt and stock interim deliveries. Okay, so now what the changes? This is the blank database, there will be no entry, the concepts will be cleared very deeply. Okay, so now I will go with the general settings. Let's go with the settings. Step number 1. In settings we have that valuations. If we will check the valuation, let me make it quite bigger. Here you can see that the inventory valuation, this is the major changes. Currently we have that periodic and perpetual. Please make a note, periodic is nothing but your continental and perpetual is nothing but your Anglo-Saxon. Perpetual is your Anglo-Saxon. So currently I am just focusing on the perpetual. So this is the first. This periodic valuation, here you have that 3 list, that manual, daily and monthly. Currently I am selecting the manual. What's the impact of this manual? We will check those things in our demonstrations. Inventory costing method, this use case I am explaining with its average cost. Valuations account, you know that this is the same, this is the inventory valuations account. Okay, and the next is my journal. I am considering, just let me go back and let me find again valuation. Yeah, this, let me again select perpetual. This is manual, this is my average costing, this is same, this is my inventory valuations. Okay, now just I am going to say this is my step number 1 to change the settings in general. Now second step, I am using in product category, going with that product category. Let's go with that goods. Yeah, one major change we can see, let me make it quite bigger. Here you can find one more account which is my stock variation, and that they introduced, that Odoo 19 has introduced in these versions only. What is this stock variation account? Just let me explain what is this first. We will check this impact in the later demonstration. Stock variation account is that kind of account which holds the value of those products whose products we have received but not yet built. Along with that, the products that we have delivered but not we have invoiced yet. This is the combination of both. This is my stock variation account. So currently I am keeping this stock variation account. Currently I am keeping, this is my raw materials, and I am keeping this raw materials. Let me make it the raw materials stock variation. You can keep it as you want. Okay. Otherwise I am making this goods stock variations. Okay, this will be expense. Currently I am making it the stock cost of goods sold. Yeah, cost of revenue. This is my step number 2, and this is the major change. Again, let me go with the that goods category. Here you can say that average cost, because of those journal setting, here you are getting those average costs automatically, and this is my perpetual. Now all configurations are set. Now let's check what's the impact. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to create one product only. This video will be quite lengthy, but concepts will be clear. Okay, goods along, this is my track inventory. Just let me save it, and of course let's check the product category. Product category is the goods. Okay, and here this follows my average costing. Now along with that, let me duplicate this and let me open the accounting and balance sheets. Where is my balance sheet? Yeah, and along with that, let me duplicate it, and this is major, which is the review. In that review I am opening this inventory valuations. Okay, this is the thing. Now what we are going to do, we are purchasing some products. So purchase order, creating the RFQ, vendor, let's consider vendor 1. Okay, I am creating this vendor 1. Okay, my product is goods. Simple example, I am just purchasing 2 with the unit price of 100, removing the taxes for the simplification. I am confirming this order. Now this is my receipt and I am validating my this product. Okay. So now what happens, if we will check in the goods, we have the stock. If you will remember the entries of your Anglo-Saxons in Odoo 18, so you know that based on when you are validating those receipts, your stock interim received account and along with that inventory valuation account will be hit. But now let's check what's the impact. If we will check the accounting entries, let me again duplicate this journal entries. There is no any journal entries. This is the first thing. Second thing, let's check the balance sheet. There will be no any balance sheet. Then how we know that inventory valuation is debited with this value? Now let's check that. In that, if we will check the review and with inventory valuations, now this is the change. Here you can see that initial balance is 0, but now till this point we haven't created any bill. We have just purchased the products and we have just validated the receipts. Based on that, we are getting this impact. This is my good stock valuation account, variation account. This is credited with 200 and this inventory valuation is debited with my 200. So at now, if you want to check your inventory valuation, which is the 200, but there is no any impact on the balance sheet because we haven't created the bill. Now what I am going to do, now let me create the bill. Okay, so this is my purchase order. I am uploading the bill. So before that, just let me create the bill. And I am making this bill date, today's date. I am just confirming this order. Now let's check the balance sheet as well as my inventory valuations. If I will check the inventory valuations, now here you can see that those stock variation account. Okay, now those is my balanced, okay, nullified, and now here you can see that my inventory valuation is debited with the 200. So if you will check my balance sheet, now in balance sheet you will see that value. Okay, now that's great. Now let me do one more case. This bill I have created, let me make it the reset to draft. Okay, and cancelling it. So now let's check the value. Again, first off of balance sheet, in the balance sheet it will be a 0, and if we will check the inventory valuations, now it's again the same. Now let's consider the use case that we have purchased the product, we have validated now the stock in our warehouse, but what we are not creating the bill at this time. After the 10 days or after the 15 days we will create the bill, as we are just doing the payment at the same time. So what we can do, how we can know that this inventory is in my stock? So currently you can see that there is no any impact in the balance sheet as of now. Okay, but now if we want to make those impact in the balance sheet, here you can see the options for generate entry. Now if you remember that in the settings we have 3 drop down, that manual, daily and monthly. Currently we have selected the manual. So if I will click on the generate entry, let me click on that. One entry Odoo will generate currently manually, which credit my this variation account and which debit my account. So if I will click on the post, so now if I will check the balance sheet, so now here you can see that now your current assets, your inventory valuation account with hit with the 200, and if I will check this review inventory valuation, this is currently 0. So this we want. Now again we have a question. So now Pinky, what happens if we are creating the bill? So let's create the bill. Okay, so now I am creating the bill again. Where is my purchase order? Let me make it white. Purchase. And yeah, this is my purchase order, and now I'm just going to create the bill. Where is that? Yeah, this is my thing. Let me deselect. Okay, this vendor bill I have already created, that is my cancel. Again I am creating the bill. So upload the bill. Let me upload something else, which is my downloads. Okay, let's something anything else. Okay, as I am creating the bill, and let's consider, and if I am confirming this, so now let's check my balance sheet. So I will go with the accounting and reporting with the balance sheets. Now here you can see that you can see the double impact while creating the entry, because we have already generated the entry, still we haven't created those bill. Now I am creating the bill, so double impact. So for that, what we have to do, now again I am clicking on this generate entry. So reverse entry will be created, which credit my inventory valuation account and which debit my that variation account. And if I will click on the post and we will check the balance sheet, so now the impact is here. So this is the just one funda. This is, of course, this is quite complex, but I'm trying to make it quite easier and quite conceptual. Okay, so this is the thing. Currently we are going to create those manual entry, but using those daily and using those monthly, Odoo will create those entry automatically. Okay, now this is the part of my purchase. Now this is the same part for your sales side. Now we have two products, so what I'm going to do, I'm just delivering those two products. So now again, let's consider the customer 1. I have now my products are goods. I am delivering the two quantities. Price I am currently keeping as 200. Okay, we have purchased with the 100, as I am going to confirm. Now delivery is there, and now validate. Let's check on the balance sheet as well as my inventory valuation review report. So now if I will check on the balance sheet, there will be no impact, you can see that. And if you will check on the review inventory valuation, here you can see that there is no any impact for that. Okay, but now here you can see that there is an impact in that stock variations. Okay, because my current valuation will be 200. Now as you have validated your delivery, but at now you haven't created your invoice, then you can see those impact in that stock variation account. And now based on that, your ending stock is 0. Now what happens, you are not creating invoice as of now. Okay, but you want to see the impact on the balance sheet, because still, then what we can do, here you can see that I will click on the generate entry. Odoo will create the generate entry, which inventory valuation credited, because now that stock goes out from my warehouse and my variation account is debited. I am just going to post it. So now if I will check that review with inventory valuation, this is 0, because now there is no any stock. And in the balance sheet, if you will check, here you can say this is the my account. Now what happens if we are creating the invoice later on? So now again let me go with the sales order. This is my sales order, this is my things. I am creating the invoice, my regular invoice, and I am just confirming it. Now let's check my repeating my accounting. In accounting, my review inventory valuations. Now here you can see that. So what we can do, generate the entry post. So now if we will check the review with inventory valuation, it's zeros. And if we will check my balance sheet again, where is that? Yeah, and here you can see that. So everything is here, but main thing is major change is in the stock variation and main impact on the generate entry. If you want to create it manually, you can do it. Otherwise, Odoo will do it automatically based on daily or based on the monthly. So this is just one initial use case. We will cover more use case in the next videos. So stay tuned and let me just know if you have queries in this concept. Thank you everyone.